the Eli Rapaport Stereo Podcast. This is the best, or should I say the worst, of Donald Trump. Donald Trump. It's coming to an end, Donald. And I know you're going to go out as classless as you came in. Okay, the Eli Rapaport Stereo Podcast, we have been on the cutting edge since the beginning of the whole Donald Trump fiasco. Since he was running towards presidency, we started the day after. Every single time D-Trump talked greasy, talked crazy, or stepped out of bounds, we were there. This is a special. I'm so happy to be doing this best, or should I call it the worst, of Donald Trump. So this is what we got. It's me, Michael Rapaport, the Gringo Mandingo, the 2015, soon to be 2016 podcast co-host of the year, G. Moody, last name rhymes with duty, Eli Lake from Bloomberg View, all speaking on Donald Trump, Talib Kweli, the champion MC, okay? And then we got 538 Elections podcast host, Jody Avery, chiming in on D-Trump on this groundbreaking Hall of Fame podcast, The Worst of Donald Trump, a.k.a. A Sea of Orange. This is from episode 60 on June 22nd, 2015, where Donald Trump talking greasy about Mexicans, saying Mexicans were murderers and rapists. We're gonna get into fucking Donald Trump. I'm just looking for like some young Eric Estrada dude to scoop Donald Trump's daughter. Like I want some young Latin sex, like an Eric Estrada dude, like an Eric Estrada in his prime, or Antonio Banderas in the 80s, like one of these guys to scoop his daughter and come home and present. I want the daughter to be like, Dad, this is my new fiance. Because Donald Trump, I mean, I've never seen somebody behave like this. I don't know if he's completely detached and he rides around like, you get detached. Fame and seclusion, if you seclude yourself from the world and you're out of touch with people, you can really lose touch. And he's so far out of touch. And I just want to make sure that, everybody associates me with New York. By no means associate Donald Trump with the city of New York. Now, of course, he owns property, he has his name on property in New York, and he's New York. He's not what New Yorkers are all about. So if you're not from New York and you already have judgment of New York, disassociate Donald Trump from the equation, because we don't fuck with him. All right, the 5 boroughs, the hardworking people of New York City, we do not fuck with Donald Trump. Okay, because Donald Trump, he's just not a man of the people. Like Donald Trump is just not like, he's not out on the streets. Donald Trump isn't like on a corner on a hot day, or, waiting for the train, drinking a Snapple, going anywhere. Like he's on some other shit. So we just want to make sure, I just want to make sure personally that if you do not, we want to disassociate ourselves. New York City, I think we should completely disassociate ourselves from Donald Trump, because he's just fucking making everybody and everything that has to do with New York City look bad. I am Rapaport Podcast. All right, this is episode 70, July 23rd, 2015. D-Trump talking shit about war hero and also a Republican, John McCain. Yo, what about your man Trump?
Oh, he shitted on John McCain.
Yeah, I don't like Trump.
Yeah, that was terrible what he said.
He's a piece of shit for saying that.
Yeah, he's backtracking. You look silly. Get him out of the race.
Get out of the fucking race, man. Get out of the race.
Silly.
And the next time I see you, I want you to have a bald head or like a crew cut. You look like shit.
Yo, he doesn't understand how to fucking campaign. He don't know. Yo, you can't be talking shit about McCain.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know, man. I don't like Trump, and he's associated with New York, and I don't like that because it makes us look bad.
He's fucking terrible, man. He said McCain like, yo, we want war heroes who weren't captured. Yo, man.
What are you talking about, man? What have you done? I am Rapaport Podcast.
It's just bad, man. It's just like, hey, that's why I don't fucking watch news. And,
I can't stand watching the news. I try to watch the news to stay informed. I see your man Trump out there acting like a fucking lunatic. And one thing I want to say about Trump is that I like the shit talking.
Right.
But it's got to be calculated. Like, we're not running for presidency.
Right.
So we could talk shit here at the Iron Rapport podcast.
That is true.
When I try to run for presidency, I'm going to fucking curve it a little bit.
You got to tone it down, man.
But this guy, it says like he's on a fucking corner. And he's winning. I was having a conversation with some real white folks.
Right.
And they were even like, what the fuck? Republicans with a lot of money. And they were like, I can't even fucking believe this shit.
I can't call it.
They were like, I can't even believe this shit. Yo, this guy might wind up running for president of the United States talking crazy shit.
Yeah.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Fuck Trump.
You say fuck Trump?
Trump is coming on some a racist platform.
He's wild.
Where he's trying to diss everybody.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Right. So what he's doing
He's like
is
a wrestler. It's like professional wrestling.
He's like, I'm going to say everything I want, and I'm going to appeal to people. I'm going to say what they think. I don't like the fucking niggas. I don't like the spics. I don't like none of them, and I'm just like you.
That's what he's like. That's
his
approach.
campaign.
Like, fuck it.
Yeah, bring this country back. We got a fucking black in the White House, and the black and what did he say? You heard what he said about Obama?
What did he say?
He said African Americans they should be ashamed. Like he's done so bad by them.
Oh, right. I heard this.
And I'm saying to myself, Jimmy Carter was a Southern Christian president, right? And he's considered the worst.
Right.
One-term president. Now, did Bill Clinton get saddled with his inefficiency as a president? You see? He say, oh, black people, Obama.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton, they don't get saddled.
Right,
you see?
right.
That guy, fuck him, man.
Trump.
Fuck you, Trump.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, in episode 83 on September 9th, 2015, G. Monetti, 2015, predicted that Donald Trump would become the president of the United States. It's documented here. It happened on September 9th, 2015. I don't know anybody else who predicted as hard and as smartly as G. Moody. I laughed at him. And here's the first time the Iron Rapport Stereo Podcast, 2015 Podcast Host of the Year, Co-Host of the Year, G. Moody predicted that D. Trump would become a formidable candidate for presidency. I liked the way Donald Trump showed up at the U.S. Open. He walks in there presidential.
Presidential, for sure.
Like, he doesn't give a shit.
Like, fuck y'all.
He's not in there smiling. He comes in like with sort of a game face. He looks buck fool. He looks bloated as fuck.
Right.
Looks like he absolutely positively needs a juice cleanse. No one's taking me up on that. Get D. Trump on a juice fast, a 7-day juice fast, and vegan him out. The same way you veganed out my man Clinton. I don't appreciate his views, but I appreciate that he's forcing these other politicians into showing that they are flawed, human people too.
Yeah.
Because they sit up there with their hair and their suits and their mumbo jumbo fucking way of speaking, and they talk you into submission because you don't understand what the fuck they're saying. Trump, love him or hate him, agree with him or not, I like that he's bringing that sort of street corner brawler, barroom brawler mentality to politics. And if nothing else, I think it'll help the way politicians have to start communicating a little bit more openly.
Absolutely.
I'm fucking tired of listening to these people talk around in circles and it's like
a New York motherfucker up there.
Man, talk fucking regular English, man.
Yeah.
Speak fucking English. Talk to the people. Don't talk around, trickery, fancy words, fucking stats and all that shit.
Right. Word.
Talk to me real. Because I don't understand half of what these people are saying. And you know what? Hillary better get her fucking shit together and get focused and get ready to get dirty, because it ain't going to come easy just because she's Hillary Clinton.
Oh, she ain't winning shit anyway.
Who do you think's going to win?
Trump gonna win this shit.
You think that Trump's gonna actually win?
All he gotta do is get his policy shit in order.
Well, he's got to learn some policy.
Yeah, now you turned
He can do it.
You turned it out.
It's a year. It's over a year away. It's like a year and 4 months away.
Now get fucking up to date.
Learn
with policy.
something. You got to have something to back it up. You can't just tell people to suck off all the time. Although I appreciate Trump when you do tell people to suck off.
That's right.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, here's episode 107 on December 1st, 2015. We discussed D. Trump following the anti-black propaganda blueprint to get votes. And we offered him his official slogan for the very, very first time. What do you think of Trump?
Trump is
At this point.
From what he said, he gave the stats about black crime, which was wrong. They pointed out that stats was all wrong. He's on that. He's doing the same shit that they did. Anti-black propaganda to galvanize shit to get into the fucking White House. Bush did Willie Horton. Clinton did Sister Soldier. Remember? This guy had false information and had the image of a black gangbanger with false stats. FBI has came out and said that shit was wrong.
By who? Trump?
Trump. Anti-black propaganda. Fuck Trump. I said he's going to win the White House.
You think he's going to win?
Yeah. He's going to win. He's a front runner. What did I say? What was the campaign slogan? I hate the blacks and I hate the Hispanics and you do too.
Say it again.
I hate the blacks and I hate the Hispanics and you do too.
One more time.
I hate the blacks and I hate the Hispanics and you do too.
That's his fucking slogan.
That's it. That's it.
Trump is a motherfucker.
You can go back history. Anti-black propaganda.
Good shit, G. Monetti. You're on point today, man.
Yeah, man.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, so Donald Trump, we have talked about him on the I Am Rapaport podcast, and we gave him a slogan. The slogan that we gave you, Donald Trump, is I hate the blacks, I hate the Mexicans, and I really don't like those hook-nosed Jews, and neither do you. Vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I mean, you want to say it, Trump. Get the fucking posters, get the stickers, get the commercials, and make that your fucking slogan, because we could feel it. We see it. And at one point, I was like totally anti-Donald Trump. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of like D. Trump. I kind of like his thuggery. I call him D. Trump. He deserves that kind of name, like a criminal. You know, like an alias, D. Trump. You know who's D. Trump? You know that motherfucker, that big, bloated motherfucker? I don't know who you're talking about. You know D. Trump, the bloated motherfucker with the fucked up hair. Who? You know that motherfucking overweight motherfucker. Looks like he needs to go on like a 7-day juice cleanse. Oh yeah, D. Trump. Oh yeah, he's no joke. I don't fuck with him. D. Trump. This whole Muslim thing that you say now that you're backing out of, I don't consider myself the most articulate person in the business. What business? I don't know what business I'm talking about, but in the world. But I feel like I'm more articulate than D. Trump, because when I saw him sit down with one of the corniest burger motherfuckers ever, that dude Don Lemon on CNN, holy shit. If there could be a corny dude of the year award, I don't feel like that's something that I really want to create just yet. But Don Lemon on CNN, I mean, fuck, man. Like, get a little bass in your voice. Like, do something. Like, get a better haircut or, like, grow some facial hair. You look scared to death. So he was interviewing him, and he was backtracking about the comments about the Muslims, and basically everyone knows this. I'm not breaking news. He said we should ban all Muslims, and then he said we shouldn't ban all Muslims, and obviously something needs to be done about the terrorists that are coming into the country. And then Trump, but the thing that I'm bringing up is Trump said, where are the great Muslim athletes. Because they were, and he was saying, you know, the Muslim athletes, who are they? What have they ever done? And the term Muslim, well, I learned about that. I was born in 1970. I'm 45. I look like I'm 29. That's just a fact. Okay, I'm 45. I look like I'm 29. But I was born in 1970. And the term Muslim and the phrase Muslim and the word Muslim, I learned about it from loving Muhammad Ali. The fact that Donald Trump could somehow ask that question, who are the great Muslim athletes? Who are the Muslim athletes that people know? And it just shows how fucking dumb and how blind he is and how much he talks straight up out of his ass. The great Muhammad Ali is probably the most famous Muslim in the world. And the fact that Trump could go saying something like that and be running for political office is crazy to me. It's crazy to me that this dude can continue to shit blatantly on everybody and then continue to move forward and backtrack and backpedal on what he says. D. Trump, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Akeem Olajuwon. Right there, there's three off the dome piece. But Muhammad Ali is probably the most famous Muslim in the world, and he always will be. And he's probably the one who sort of brought that religion and that culture to, I use the word again, the zeitgeist.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 133, February 26th. Jeb Bush bows out of the race, and Danny Aiello stops by to talk about it. We're going to free flow this whole episode. We got many things to talk about.
We got many styles.
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush bowed out of the election.
He knows.
Donald Trump, D. Trump, which you predicted from the New York City Gloom to him about a year ago that he'd be president.
He'd win the presidency.
You said that. I thought you were totally out of your mind. D. Trump did what other guys couldn't do. He made mincemeat. He made mincemeat out of Jeb Bush. My man bowed out.
Yeah.
He shut down a Bush. Do you know how fucking crazy that is? I don't care if it's Jeb and he's the fuck up of the family. I don't care if it's the election fixing Jeb Bush, the Florida guy, and I don't care if all the things that he, wasn't. The thing that he was and that he is a Bush. Donald Trump toyed with him.
You know why?
Why?
Rap. This is a New York charismatic guy. You can't mess with that on the stage. Donald Trump, you can't mess with it.
Well,
he has no policy. He insults everybody.
Right.
That's his policy.
It's like Rodney Dangerfield running for president.
But on camera,
he got
with that New York chutzpah.
Yeah, that chutzpah.
You cannot deal with it.
But and as much as little fuck as I give about the Bushes, I was just thinking about the next family reunion. Imagine when the next family reunion, you got two presidents, your brother was a president, your father was a president, and you lost to Donald Trump.
Word.
And I just imagine George Bush as Danny Aiello.
Yeah. Go for it.
You dumb fuck! You lost to who? You stupid cocksucker! You election fixing motherfucker! Go clean the fucking backyard! You're a fucking loser, Jeb! But Dad, I don't give a fuck about, I'm not your fucking father! And then GW's in the corner laughing. And Jeb is like, but Dad, shut the fuck up! And he gives him a beating. He cracks him. Get the fuck out of the house! Go clean up the horse shit! Go in the stables and wipe your fucking horse shit up. And the next time your mother shits in her diaper, you're gonna clean it up, you fucking loser! You're a fucking loser, Jeb!
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, this is from episode 134 on March 2nd, 2016. The KKK endorsed D. Trump, and he doesn't reject it.
Trump.
Fucking Trump. He got endorsed by the Ku Klux. Is it the Ku Klux Klan or is there an L? Klan.
The Klan endorsed, and Donald Trump didn't say, yo, I don't take that endorsement.
Yeah.
Donald Trump like, what?
He's like, fuck it, I'll take the votes any which way I can.
Let me tell the people, Donald Trump will win. So all the Mexicans, all the motherfuckers in the slums of Crenshaw, Sunset Park in Brooklyn.
Right.
Y'all better get y'all green cards together.
He's coming for you.
Because he's coming to round y'all up. We need y'all.
Yo.
We need y'all in this country.
Right.
This is a fucking ridiculous person.
Yo, Donald Trump, if he wins, my prediction is this. Mark this down. He will get impeached if he wins. Mark my fucking words. He won't finish
out.
He'll get impeached. He'll get impeached. Trust me.
Okay.
He'll be freaking off in the White House like it's 1987 at Studio 54. He'll go fucking nuts. Number one.
Model. Yeah, he got model chicks.
He will freak off in the White House.
Yo. If he becomes president, the black people need to keep that passport close to your vest because he going to repeal a whole bunch of shit.
Yo.
You could take motherfuckers' passports.
If you're gay or lesbian, get married now.
Yeah.
Because he's shutting all of that shit down.
That's what he represents.
Yeah, he's repealing everything.
He represents the old America.
You talk about old school?
Yeah.
He's on that motherfucking, that Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
For sure.
He's on that fucking, that Sugar Hill Gang. You want to talk about old school?
Let's make it great again.
Trump is on that shit.
Yeah.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, this is from episode 137 on March 11th, 2016. We discuss how D. Trump makes plans to make America great again for the very first time. This is the first time he said, make America great, and we started talking about it.
All right, so as I was saying about D. Trump.
He has a catchphrase. He had it embroidered on a hat. It says, make America great again. And I read that, and I'm like, when hasn't America ever been great? 1776.
Right.
The words he uses, again. Make America great.
Make America great again.
Again.
What is he referring to? What time?
A time.
Were things fantastic in the 60s? We could glorify and glamorize the past all we want.
Not the 60s. That's when black people were going for their rights. So that's why that's not great. That's not a great time because it's strife. It's a lot of things going on. He's talking about in the 40s, the 30s, the 20s. You know why? When the Jews were in the Lower East Side in those tenements, and in Brownsville in those tenements, the Irish, the Italians, they weren't white yet.
Right.
That's what he means when we're all, the blacks, the Irish, the Italians are all living in those stifling ghettos in New York City and Philadelphia and Baltimore. That's when America was great because the Jews weren't white, the Irish weren't white. That's the time he's talking about.
And he's like, well, you know, they all lived in there. At least we knew where they were.
Right.
At least we could keep tabs on all of them.
Right. And again, now
could they read? No. But at least we knew we could keep files on everybody.
Right.
Everybody's paperwork worked just fantastic.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 138, March 16th. Marco Rubio drops out of the race. Soft, Duke. Paulie O'Neill.
Yeah. He stepped out there.
Former New York Yankee, beloved Yankee, gave his endorsement.
He likes what Trump is kicking.
Yo, I'm a little surprised by the amount of the racial. Somebody in a New York Yankee jersey, in a New York Yankee shirt. I don't know where the rally was. Said something about go back to Auschwitz.
Oh, word. Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
And I was
saw
like,
that. Damn, that's what it is.
You got a Yankee shirt on? You fucking piece of shit.
Yo.
You from New York?
No. Not
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
that wear that shit is from New York.
I was like, yo, man.
It can't be.
And now people are going to the protest like ready to fuck.
Ready to set it off.
When you see a 78-year-old white guy punch
Snuff motherfucker.
Snuff, cold cock, a however old black kid, other motherfuckers like, yo,
it's on.
it's on.
Thanks, Donald.
Good shit.
Yeah, this is what you... See, this was...
He should be, and you know,
That's that
the
rhetoric.
Hillary, the Bernie, the Rubio, the fucking, who dropped out today? Rubio, Cruz, he shitted on another guy, fucking annihilated him. Yo, he's gonna get us into some shit.
Yeah.
And my prediction is this: some vegetarian hipster fuck from Minnesota or some hardcore hipster town, because they got a lot of hipsters in Minnesota. Shout out to Minneapolis. I say that I like Minneapolis.
Me too.
We spent a lot of time in Minneapolis during the making of Beautiful Girls. Me and Moody were out there for like 3 months, losing our fucking shit.
I love Minneapolis.
Wow. We went nuts out there,
I
huh?
like it. I like it.
Yeah, it went crazy. Somebody's going to take a pot shot at Trump.
They did. Remember they tried to run up on the stage on him.
They're going to start pulling out that Lee Harvey Oswald
Yeah.
on him.
Pulling out that...
Yo, because he's inciting that. Like, I'm not Mr. Politics. I've never seen a candidate, Republican, Democrat, fucking independent, be so, cause such a frenzy and the emotions are so, you know, they're so beloved or to hate. And the fact that he's in contention to run for president is frightening.
He's presidential in an 1890s kind of way. Right? And check why I say that. Check this quote.
Presidential in an 1890s
kind of
Good
way.
one, Moody. See, this is why G. Monetti, a.k.a. G. Moody, rhymes with duty, was the 2015 podcast co-host of the year. Go ahead.
Check this quote. There used to be consequences for protesting. This is what he says. And I'm saying what he really means is like the consequences are sicking dogs.
Right.
Turning water hoses on protesters.
Right.
Those are consequences
Right.
from yesteryear
Right.
of protest. Now it's pepper spray. Next, you're going to see water hoses at them rallies. This is what he's talking about, man.
He's really on that old school shit.
Yeah. He makes no bones about it.
Donald
and that's
Trump,
why you have a lot of tension.
This is our last time we're offering it to you free. Take the slogan and just embrace it. I want to see you on a commercial to say, I hate the blacks, I hate the Spanish, and I can't stand those hook-nosed Jews.
Yeah.
Vote for Donald Trump
Yeah.
in 2016 and make America great. That's the slogan we want you to say. Mack Weldon is a New York City-based company that lives and breathes New York City. They make the best underwear, t-shirts, socks at Mack Weldon, and they even have soft-ass sweatpants and sweatshirts that are very comfortable, and they wash and dry fantastic. They don't lose shape or their integrity when you throw them in the laundry machine. Comfortable, soft, light materials and fabrics. You could shop online for Mack Weldon products on your mobile phone and check out in less than a minute. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable and look good. It's perfect for the guy on the run or perfect for the guy going for a run. Personally, I'm a little bit of both. You can use the promo code Rapaport, R-A-P-A-P-O-R-T, and save 20% off your first order at Mack Weldon, M-A-C-K-W-E-L-D-O-N. Your underwear, your socks, your t-shirts, all soft, all comfortable at a really fair price. Go to MackWeldon.com and don't forget to use the promo code Rapaport, R-A-P-A-P-O-R-T, to save 20% off your first order on all the fantastic gear at MackWeldon.com. I'm wearing some of the underwear right now. You know what it feels like? I feel like I'm floating in cotton.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
March 2nd, 2016, Talib Kweli, champion MC at South by Southwest, discussing the 2016 presidential race.
If Hillary wins, it's going to be riots.
No, you say that.
Trump. Trump said it.
Trump.
He said it.
He also says steaks are going to sell good at the Sharper Image.
That's what he said. He's not always.
He also said, I don't trust the blacks with my money. I need the Jewish guys with the little hats.
Did he say that?
He also said all Mexicans are rapists. He also said we should vet all Muslims before we let them in the country. He also said, I love the blacks. I love the blacks.
He's buck wild.
Now, how's he doing in the polls?
He's going to run for
Sweeping
president.
shit. He's sweeping, yo.
He's going to run for president.
And if he doesn't get the nomination, he said, yo, it's going to be riots.
Well,
He's
then-
kicking that.
Well, then there's going to be a bunch of hipsters, and you know, I
The
think
fact that he says things like, if I don't win, there's going to be riots,
Right.
is exactly why they're not going to give him the nomination.
right.
They're not.
Right.
They're not, and they're looking. Right now, the GOP is scrambling for any reason.
Right.
So when the all this shit that he's talking about the GOP, about Fox News, they're gonna get him back for that. When the convention happens, they're gonna be like, John Kasich, whatever his
Right.
name is, or they're gonna pick someone,
Right.
and then what they're gonna say is, Trump is a bigot. He's too inflammatory. He doesn't understand simple, basic laws. He
cannot be.
He's not a true conservative.
Right.
He's friends with Hillary Clinton.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They look at his wife. They're
Right.
gonna say all
Right.
of that.
Right. They're
And
just
they're
waiting.
for the convention.
They're waiting. That's what I've been saying. I feel like they're just like, let this guy.
And then them KKK motherfuckers going to be like, oh, word?
They're gonna say that,
Oh, word?
and you know what? Their base is gonna be upset,
Yeah.
Like, we're going to tear shit up.
and people might start tearing shit up. But that's gonna just make them look bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
So you know this fucking guy Trump. Did you see the clip last night?
I
The other day-
I heard about that shit, man.
He was sitting down with some old school political news person, and he asked him about abortion.
Right.
And Trump, who's supposed to be such a badass and all that shit, the dude was pressing him. He basically said, if abortion, if you don't believe in abortion and abortion should be illegal, should people who get abortions be penalized? And Trump was trying to skirt around answering it. He was skirting around answering it. And finally he said those words, yes, it should be penalized.
Damn. Punished.
Punished. You
Yeah.
should be punished for having an abortion because you're breaking the law, basically. That's what he was saying.
Right. Damn.
Yo, Trump, you ain't shit, man. You ain't shit.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have the verbal skills, the political verbal skills. Even if you think that, you
Right.
say some shit like that.
Right. To dance around. Yeah.
You don't have the verbal skills to skate around it.
Obviously not.
How about we give you an abortion,
Word.
Trump? How about we abort you? What's wrong with this dude, man?
Yo, told you, bro.
You did say it. You were saying it from the beginning. You were saying it a little bit before the masses were saying it.
Yep.
And it's on the table, Trump. We have your political slogan that you want. You just, if he did that, I think this, if he said the political slogan, he owned it, he put it on TV, I think he could seriously win.
Yeah.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Because these presidents and the way Donald Trump has handled himself is that people think that they could ask presidents anything they want, anyhow they want now.
Right.
Whoever wins, whether it's Bernie, Hillary, they think that they could just talk to these presidents in any kind of way.
Right.
Yo, we're going to hold them there. Like, you can't, you have to be respectful to the president.
Right.
I'm not saying they
The
shouldn't
office,
be
yeah.
accountable for things, but you can't just be like, like anything goes. I'm going
Right.
to talk greasy to the president.
Right. Just, yeah, rude and shit.
He's the president of your country.
Right.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
You see this guy, Trump? Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
This guy's got a set of he might have a big set of balls on him. Because this guy, just when you think, first of all, Ted Cruz is gone, right?
It's over.
Is there anybody else in contention?
Nope.
So Donald Trump is going to really be like, it's going to be like him or either Bernie or Hillary running for actual. The fact that it's gotten this far, shame on this country, can't be the president.
Watch. It's over, man.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 172, June 17th. G. Moody makes a D-Trump prediction based on the Southern strategy. This is good shit right here.
Donald Trump, I was mocked.
He's not going to win.
I was mocked and ridiculed when I predicted that he would win the nomination.
You were, that is a fact. You were mocked and ridiculed and laughed out of the room.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't actually get laughed out, and it was just you and me. But you were mocked, and people, gave you the side eye and all that stuff. That is true.
And look where
you
he
did
is now.
predict that. Fuck. He's gonna get killed by Hillary because even some staunch, is that what they call them? Staunch Republicans.
Yeah.
Aren't going to vote for him. The Republican Party should be ashamed of themselves that this is the best you can offer is Donald Trump.
And I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Oh, shit. Go. What's your fucking prediction now? Like, what?
Trump.
What is it?
Trump in a landslide.
Oh, it's not happening.
Okay.
It's not happening.
He ran with the Southern strategy, racial intolerance, anti-immigration, racial paranoia, cold words that appeal to that racism. Landslide, bruh. Could combine that with the fact that they had a black president in there for 8 years. They don't like that shit. This is the perfect time for the Southern strategy. Boom, he's president. Watch.
I don't agree with you. I think Hillary's going to win in a landslide. Remember last year? Remember last time everybody thought Obama was going to lose and it was in no competition? That's what's going to be with Hillary.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, this is from episode 173, June 20th, 2016. After the fucking Cavs won the finals, I was distraught. And G. Moody, just to rub salt in the wound, makes another D-Trump prediction. I'm going to be honest, Gerald. I've known you since 1982. You're like a brother. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to call you for this I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I'm going to say it to you, and I said it behind your back. And I feel like sort of guilty for thinking that. And I just want to get that out and just be honest. I was not. I don't want to be doing this right now with you. Okay?
I hear you.
I'm just being honest.
And I'm not going to gloat. The proof is in the pudding. It's been recorded. People can check and hear what I said, when I said it. So I don't need to gloat. Twitter, people on Twitter giving me so much love. They know what time it is. Next up, get ready for President Trump, B.
Oh, fuck.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 176 has Eli Lake for the first time. June 28th, and he gives us props on being all over D. Trump's candidacy even before many of the political pundits in Washington did so. G. Monetti, do you have any questions on the Brexit thing for Mr. Lake?
No, I was wanting to talk about Donald Trump.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I want to compliment you guys on Donald Trump.
How so?
So I think the people who are the most political experts in the media didn't see something that people who didn't have like their careers wrapped up in it and had more distance from it could see immediately. And I'm thinking of a specific episode. It was one of the first times you were on, Moody, where you guys had compared Trump at the debate, I think, to Nino Brown of New Jack City, in the sort of talking to the other drug dealers and letting them know that this is going to be my corners from now on. And that was probably that informed people more than like all the bullshit that you would hear from lots of inside Washington, insider types who would say, no, there's an establishment lane. He can't raise enough money. It's not going to last. It's a fad. All that, they got it completely wrong, and he ran the table on the Republicans, and I think you guys really were the first to kind of go out there with that, and I thought that D. Trump, the way you were talking about him like that, it was so appropriate. it really stuck, at least for me, as I was looking at this stuff.
Well, first of all, that gives credit to the 2015 podcast co-host of the year, G. Monetti.
Yes,
he's been the one pumping that, and I laughed him out of the gloom tomb when he first said that Trump would be elected. I thought it was totally crazy and off the wall. And look who's laughing now. Look who's laughing now. Yet again, G. Moody, whose last name rhymes with duty.
Yes. So Eli, here's my question: has Donald Trump articulated a foreign policy?
No. He has contradicted himself many times on foreign policy, and it's not clear what he would do because he has been on both sides of a lot of very important issues. The one thing we know is that he's way too close to Vladimir Putin for most politicians in Washington, and his top political advisor, who he brought in, a guy named Paul Manafort, took lots and lots of money from oligarchs who are clearly connected to Vladimir Putin. And I've written about this, but in my view, that should be disqualifying. And we know that he has said this idea of America first, which sounds good, but we should remember that that is the same slogan that Charles Lindbergh used before World War II to keep America from fighting the Nazis, and was associated for decades in American political discourse with the idea of, a kind of paranoid view that Jews and British people were really pulling the strings of the U.S. government. And he sort of brought it back. Lots of people, myself included, said, you use this phrase, America first, here's the origins of it, and he does it anyway, he says it all the time. So there's a lot of reasons to be very concerned with that.
Yep.
What do you think the chances of Donald Trump actually winning the presidency? Like you work for Bloomberg. Like you when you're hanging out with Bloomberg, you guys are in the bathroom. Like you must share a bathroom with the Michael Bloomberg. You're in there taking a leak. You ever say, "Hey, Mike, what do you know about this guy?" Like, you ever get that kind of information?
I don't hang out with Michael Bloomberg. I want to make that very clear.
Okay, so wait a minute. You've never taken a piss? Like, you're walking around the Bloomberg offices. You guys are in there. You're two men. You got your loaves out. You're taking a leak. This doesn't happen? Am I totally... This doesn't happen?
I'm sorry, you're cracking me up. Listen, on the question of is Donald Trump going to win, I mean, at this point, he has, first of all, he's doubled down on crazy. So he continues to, so his core fans think he's keeping it super real, but it's like that Dave Chappelle sketch when keeping it real goes wrong.
Right.
Because he hasn't broadened it out to build a coalition that any expert would say could win a national election. What's more, when people were doubting Trump in the primary, like a year ago, 8 months ago, he was leading in a lot of these polls. And now he's not leading nationally. He's not, the latest polls come out, he's not leading in battleground states. So the polls have been correct. And that's why I think that he's not going to win. But I will tell you this. I think that broadly speaking, the media, and particularly CNN, has an interest in making the race appear as close as it is, as it can be, because that's the way you get ratings, if people think it's in doubt. And I think that to a degree, Hillary wants it to appear close too, so she can get her people out to vote against Trump, because I think that he brings out, people voting against him as well as people voting for him.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 179, Eli Lake calls back to discuss the Republican National Convention. This is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. And we got a special, uncut, unfiltered little snippet from the Republican National Convention. Let me tell you a story when I was growing up on a farm. I had me a big old black man working for me. We was gonna lynch his ass. We had a nice fire burning, marshmallows going.
Yep.
Big old party. We had ourselves a little lynching party. So we pulled this big old black one out. Tie tie his ass up. He jumped clear over the noose. I said, oh, shit. Daddy chased him down, beat his ass good. I said, Daddy, we can't let him go. We can't lynch him, Daddy. He done jumped clear over the goddamn noose. Daddy smacked my face. Don't ever curse in my face, boy. I said, shit, Daddy smacked me again. I said, but he jumped clear over the goddamn noose. I ain't never seen nobody jump over no noose.
States' rights.
It's states' rights. We need to keep him. I know he acted up, but please let me keep him, Daddy.
Oh, have you guys have watched? You see like what Donald Trump says like every couple days, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me some good quotes,
Okay,
though.
he's not going for he's not trying to expand his base. He's not trying to get other people. He's going back to the tried and true. He's going, hey, these are my people. We're gonna win or lose with these people. And I don't think that. I think that's like 32% of the country or something.
I agree. Yeah. I don't think he's trying to expand at all. And thank God that he's not trying to expand, because he's gotten this far. And I actually, I came across somebody that I know and that I'm friends with and I respect. And he was and I was so surprised. He's a Republican, which I don't get into too much politics and stuff like that. But he point blank told me, "Oh yeah, I'm absolutely voting for Donald Trump." And I swear I like judged the fact that this person was in my life. I was like, "Yo, this motherfucker's, you're crazy." And this is a smart, very successful person. I was like, "Yo, you're fucking nuts. Like you're voting for him because he's a Republican." Like I didn't understand it. Like it took the breath out of me. It was the first person that I actually met, that I actually know and respect, that I know for sure has Donald Trump. He's voting for Trump.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. There are a lot of people out there. He appeals to certain people, but I just don't think it's going to be a majority.
I agree.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Well, what about the people that make this strong case for Donald Trump? Like, what is their true belief? Like, why are people backing him? Being totally unbiased, what can you say
there's
about...
There's all different kinds of people that are backing him, and you guys had, I think, a very accurate slogan, which I'm not going to repeat, a year ago.
Mr. Moody can do that. Sorry to interrupt you. G. Moody.
Yeah, Moody, like the Moody slogan, I think, that is a subset. Right. So there are people who are just bigots and haters who have been attracted to Trump because he said outrageous things. Remember, a year ago when he got in about Mexicans and Muslims in particular, everybody jumped on him. He also said some outrageous stuff about McCain, and he doubled down, he tripled down, and that, I think, opened up space for, as I said, a subset. But I think there's a lot of other Trump supporters who look at Washington in particular and the media and what they see as these elites and institutions, and they say, you have fucked up the country. You act like you have all this authority, but we're against you. We just want someone who's going to clean house and start again. And they're not, I don't think those people have hate in their heart. I do think that's why they're attracted to Trump.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Did you see the fury in the people's eyes at day one of of the Republican National Campaign? Is there any official head count on any Latins, blacks, or Jews there? I saw a bunch of black dudes with cowboy hats. What the fuck are you doing wearing a cowboy hat?
Word.
Listen to me, you dumb cocksucker! You black cowboy hat wearing motherfucker! You think these crazy cocksuckers like you? You dumb fuck! Take that fucking cowboy hat off and run, you dumb motherfucker! Because these cocksuckers want to bull bat you!
They'll string you up.
They'll fucking string you up as fast as you can say, Jumpin' Jack Flash, you motherfucker! I never seen that many black people with cowboy hats on. Is that some sort of sign?
I've never seen. I know in Texas they wear it because it's culture.
I get that, but this was a different thing.
This is being orchestrated. Put the hat on.
Right.
So you can be a good old boy.
Right.
But in your history, that hat meant they lighten a fire.
And that means...
They lighting a fire, and 20,000 come to see your ass strung up, and now you up there with the hat on.
And whose money? Who's on CNN?
I think it's Van Jones. They all I'm gonna get this shit straight, Rap.
Get it straight.
I'm gonna learn these motherfuckers now.
Let's take a breath. Breathe, Moody.
In our history, because these people molded us.
Yes.
African Americans have been molded by these people, right? So in our history, we always got brainwashed Negroes. There's no reason he should be up there talking about Republican this and that and this and that. That shit don't apply to you.
They don't like you.
What the fuck you think?
Everybody wants a job, but golly.
That's like, for me, looking at that, the guy with the cowboy hat, what if it was a Jewish guy wearing some Nazi shit?
Right.
With the history, you would be, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Ugh.
So that's how we look at this motherfucker. Take that hat off and put a Yankee hat on.
Yeah, put a fucking Yankee hat on. Melania Trump, she fucking around with Michelle's speech.
Plagiarizing.
But I like Melania because she's about that no fact-checking life. She's like, fuck it, just give me the prompter, I'm just going to read.
Right.
She's not about that fact-checking life.
And
she don't care. She's about that, how you say, I know fact-checker.
Yeah, this is the first lady.
How you say, fact-check? No. Is that Chinese? I made her sound.
Where's she from, Ukraine?
I don't know nothing about Melania.
Yo.
I don't like her. Her eyes freak me out. She looks like a cat.
I want to give some respect to Donald Trump and Giuliani, who wear their shit on their sleeves, who will tell you in your face, I don't like no Mexicans. I don't like the black people. I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to keep these motherfuckers out. I hate the Muslims. See, when a person deals with you like that, you understand where they come from, and you know to stay away.
Right.
Right? And he knows where you are, and you know where he is. You can deal with a person like that.
Right.
But when you get a motherfucker that will talk behind your back, who don't like the blacks, but in your face, yo, we're going to try to make things better. But in the back room, money's on some bullshit.
Right.
So I respect Trump and Giuliani for being forthright and honest about their shit.
They just don't give a shit.
Yeah. And that's why, how could a person like that... See, we don't need to worry about Trump. We need to worry about the people he's speaking to.
Break
Such
it down.
a large segment that will deal with a guy and love a guy who has no political expertise, no foreign policy.
If I tried to go to a Starbucks and run a Starbucks, they'd say, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You started a barista, asshole. You don't know how to run a Starbucks. Well, I've done this, I've done that. Man, shut the fuck up, man, and start mopping the floor.
Right.
But this guy could potentially be the president of the United States because he's kicking all that fly shit?
Because he's stirring up the racial resentment. So he has to create enemies. Muslims. And it used to be just black people.
Right.
Because it wasn't any other, really too much immigrants. So you could castigate blacks and be like, you're losing your jobs because of integration. Right? So it stirs up that racial animosity. Same shit. It's a strategy. George Wallace, Richard Nixon, they used it, Ronald Reagan, and they won the White House, which is my basis for predicting this guy would win over a year ago.
See, I'm Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I need to fucking Snapple. I need to take a drink.
And they go with the theme of America, Mr. America. We are American. And basically what they're saying is that nigger in the White House ain't American.
Damn.
That's the code. That's the code. But Mr. America, where's your American wife? You got this woman up here who can't fucking speak. Where's Cheryl Teagues at?
Right.
Where Farrah at?
And this Make America Great Again. We've brought this up before. What time in history was so great that you want to go back? Is it the 60s?
It's Jim Crow Black Codes era, where black people are separated and they know their place.
When is the time make America great again?
That's what he's talking about.
If you say we want to make America great again, what is the fucking time and place? What is the period of time that they were referring to? If you could just articulate that for me.
We can. We can do reasonable deduction. It wasn't the 20s.
No.
It was a depression, right? 40s.
Couldn't have been the 60s.
World War II. When no motherfuckers, the black people, no immigrants, we in the shithole, but everything is great. But think about it. It's great if you got slaves.
Right. That's fantastic.
You don't gotta do no work. You got free labor. It's great.
Right.
For you.
Right.
That's what they mean.
All right, I got to get off the politics. My brain is going to explode. We'll be right back with more I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Yo, the I Am Rapaport podcast is sponsored by Casper Mattresses. Casper Mattresses is an award-winning company that makes the most ridiculously relaxing, supportive mattresses sold directly to the consumers. Sleek, new designed beds delivered directly to your doorstep in a small box. The Casper mattress is available in 6 sizes and a 10-year full warranty. It's made and stitched right here in the United States of America. Free 2 to 5 day shipping in the United States and Canada. Casper is so confident in the mattress that it'll give you a 100-night free trial with the mattress. And if you're not happy, Casper will pick up the mattress for free with a full refund. Okay, it'll donate or recycle the mattress to somebody who really appreciates a great night's sleep, a great nap on a lazy afternoon. Go to Casper.com and save $50 using the promo code Rapaport, RAPAPORT. That's Casper Mattresses, CASPER, Casper.com. Check it out. I sleep on one every single night and love it.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Episode 188, June 5th, 2016. We discussed Anthony Sabato Jr. Remember him? Yeah, he hasn't worked since. Antonio Sabato. I don't know his fucking name. I know this guy is an underwear model. I'm not dissing him. If I could be an underwear model and get paid for it. Now, as you know, I've been known to walk around in a jockstrap or a custom-made banana hammock. Yet I've never been paid for it. So I'm not making fun of like, oh, you're just an underwear model. I don't knock anybody's hustle, anybody's dreams, and any of that stuff. But Antonio Sabato Jr., who's most known for speaking at the Republican convention in Cleveland, said afterwards he absolutely believes that President Obama is a Muslim on the bad side. All this rhetoric. He is now saying that he's been blackballed in Hollywood. I want to tell you something, Antonio Sabato Jr. You wasn't never popping in Hollywood. Okay, you did a little underwear modeling, and that's dope. I have no problem with that. Again, I respect you. I'm sure you're a family guy. Everybody's got to make a living. But as far as being an actor, you got no skills, Duke. You never had no skills. And I don't know if you thought fucking around with Trump was going to get you popping.
Right.
But it's not going to work out like that.
Oh, his acting was an all.
He was never dope. He's a handsome dude.
Right.
And that's it. But don't. I think he thought, oh, I'm gonna fuck with Trump, and then I'm gonna get shit pop a lot.
I'm gonna get put on.
No, you're not getting put on. you probably fucked yourself more now.
Right.
Because your skills never paid the bills when it came to that good SAG shit.
Oh, he's just a looker.
He's just a looker.
Yeah.
And his best days are over. You know what I mean? Again, I want this guy to be able to make a living and feed his family, sincerely. But I call your man Trump.
Word.
Call him up. He asked you to come talk. They probably paid you a little something, because this is how this shit works. They fly you in. They pay you a little something. And he got you and Chachi. And y'all motherfuckers, you're going to be screwed.
Yeah.
Not that everybody in Hollywood doesn't fuck with D. Trump. But I'm just letting you, it's not like you were doing Shakespearean theater to begin with, Sabato Jr.
Right. Was he commanding big purses for movies.
He wasn't commanding any.
Or exactly.
He's just not an actor. He's a good-looking guy.
He's modeling drawers.
Which brings me to, have you gotten any offers to model underwear, Monetti?
No.
I just want to put the feelers out there. If anybody wants to have Monetti model underwear,
anybody could do that shit.
Yeah, Monetti's ready to do it,
and you ain't got to put a sock in me. You had to put a sock in Antonio.
I don't know if you did.
I'm gonna tell you what I know.
You looked at his shit.
Yeah.
I never seen you looked at his shit. Speaking of D. Trump, George W. Bush came out shitting on D. Trump. Now, you know if George W. Bush is shitting on you,
Jesus,
then you're in bad shape. When an ex-president who's also a Republican is shitting on you, then you know you're fucked. Everybody is shitting on D. Trump. And I'm telling you, I know you think it's cute and you want to be like Mr. Co-host Stradamus, and like, he's getting blown out.
This is August.
He's getting blown out.
Okay.
It's just going to continue to get worse.
No.
Trump spoke at some I don't know, fucking thing. I don't know what. I just know that he shitted on him. And George W. Bush, he's never been known as the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Word. Absolutely.
And finally with Trump, because I don't want to get too far into the Trump shit, there was President Obama, two-term winner, President Obama.
Yeah, they don't give him
Even
that.
he came out and was saying, yo, like his concern, like, this isn't about Democratic and Republican.
Right. It's like he's unfit for this shit.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
people are like, yo, whatever you do not get this motherfucker in there. Like, people are nervous for the country's sake. Do what you want to do. Vote who you want to vote for. And I know people think this is a joke and like they like this fucking guy. This is not a fucking joke. Okay, we're not running a little league baseball team here. Okay, think about what the fuck you're doing.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 189, August 6th. We came live from Minnesota, where we learned not to talk politics in the Midwest. You don't want to do that. Check this out. We did a live show once and we started getting into politics, and I realized that politics, you know, I always heard, don't bring up politics and religion. Don't bring up politics and religion. I was always like, what's the problem? You know, motherfuckers are serious about their politics and religion. They are serious about their politics and religion. So in public, I don't think it's safe, smart to bring up politics and religion. But, no, I'm just, but,
Go ahead.
man, the White House was built by slaves. I don't want to talk about politics or religion. I don't want to talk about, but the one thing that I did want to talk about, and I'm not going to name any names, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, is this whole make America great again. And I'm going to talk about it more so in the context of when that term started coming out earlier this year. They're leaving. They're fuck it. And he's like,
these are Trump.
she's like, I told you not to talk about politics or religion, motherfucker. I'm going to get my fucking money back and return that soft ass I Am Rapaport stereo podcast.
Bring your ass back,
you dumb motherfucker. You should have never brought up politics and religion. No, but the thing about the Make America Great Again thing, regardless of what you feel, what you don't feel, whose side you're on, because I truly don't care, and this isn't the place or time to talk about it. But that phrase about the Make America Great Again, the 2015 Podcast Codes of the Year brought something to my attention that was then stolen. I will say that it was stolen by, was it The Daily Show?
The Daily Show. They stole it.
They stole our concept on it. But when that first came into fruition about 7 months ago, G. Monetti had a great point, and I'll let you...
I said, when wasn't America great?
And if we want to make America great again, what time are we trying to go back to? The 60s?
The 30s?
How was the 60s? Remind me, the 60s...
Or at least 20 cities were burning.
It could have been the 30s because...
Depression. Couldn't have been the 40s, World War II.
1890?
Maybe.
Do we want to go back to
Free labor.
1877?
Me in shackles. No.
You want to go back to Make America Great Again?
No.
It should be always, I don't care what party, what person you're voting for. We have to go forward and make America continue to be fantastic and get it better and better and better and better. And everybody.
For everybody.
All the candidates, all the people speaking at both conventions, every single person cannot deny that things need to improve across the board.
Word.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 190 on August 12th, 2016. D. Trump belongs in the Borscht Belt as a comedian, not in the presidential race. But anyway, this thing Trump said, essentially threatening Hillary Clinton with violence, threatening, saying that Hillary Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment, and if she gets to pick her judges, she could possibly do it. But the Second Amendment people, they could do something about this. I don't know. He's like, maybe the Second Amendment people, one of them was shooter. I don't know. He's like a fucking Borscht Belt comedian. How is this fucking guy even running for president? How the fuck is he running for president? Put this fucking guy on a reality show. Put him back on a bad reality show. Let him run his businesses and his hotels. He's dangerous. He's inciting dangerous things within our country. And he's making threats. That's a threat. And then he said, well, he didn't mean it was the second. Bullshit. You know exactly what you meant. You know exactly what you were saying. Donald Trump, you were saying that the Second Amendment people, the gun people, the people who are totally 150% supporting the Second Amendment, the right to, they can do something about it. Like somebody should take her down. And then he's backing away from. And that's why you're a fucking asshole, Donald Trump. Okay, and I know an asshole when I see one. You know how? Takes one to know one, you. Okay? It fucking takes one to know one. So for I got good hair. You look like shit. You look bloated, and you look like shit. Okay? And you look run down, you fuck. And I'm glad you look run down, and you're going to continue to look run down. Okay? Don't try to say shit and then back up. Stand by what you said. You're a fuck. This is true. You're a fuck. And this is true.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 194 on August 19th, 2016. Nude D. Trump statue pops up around New York City and the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Oh, we laughed. So Mr. Moody, you're in New York, correct?
Yep.
Did you make it down to Times Square? Did you see the Donald Trump statue, the new Donald Trump statue that they erected right there in Union Square?
Yes, I thought it was a great piece of art, and it was spot on.
I did too, and all you Trump supporters who think the media is biased and there's conspiracy this, conspiracy that. Even George W. Bush hasn't got shit on as bad as Donald Trump. Nobody, not one presidential candidate has somebody, you know how hard it must have been to put that statue up? You know how much time it must have taken to put that statue up? That's how bad people can't stand. That's how much people are going out of their way to ridicule and to bring Donald Trump to his knees. They got a statue of him that must have took hours and hours and hours and weeks and weeks and weeks. And the artist knew that shit was going to get taken away. Put it out there of Donald Trump, butt-ass naked, looking fucked up in the game. And these people still talking about conspiracies and, it's there's biasness and there's this and this. You know that people I've had not close friendships, but friendships with people I know that are like, we totally support Donald Trump. How dare you talk about him that way? I've had conversations with how dare you talk about him that way?
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey man, he galvanized a section of the of the populace, man, with a lot of dangerous rhetoric. So he has them. And then you got undercover so-called liberals, but on the low, they're going to pull the lever for him.
It's true. It's true.
Watch. You're going to be surprised when they announce the winner. You're going to be surprised.
Listen, he ain't winning shit. I ain't even worried about that.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 198, August 30th, 2016. David Duke endorses Donald Trump, and D. Trump doesn't reject it. What the fuck is going on?
I see Donald Trump is still saying his same old wild, crazy rhetoric, and his alliance with David Duke is particularly troubling.
He's still fucking with David Duke?
Of course.
Donald Trump. This dude's stupid, man. He fucking with David Duke, and then the fact that he fucks with David Duke or doesn't just completely disassociate anything to do with David Duke, the people that are all like supporting this dude, they should be embarrassed. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah,
they should be
crazy.
ashamed of themselves.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 203, September 13th. Jody Averine from 538 Elections joins us to discuss D. Trump and breaks it down.
And I think we're starting to see, so one of the big ongoing conversations has been like, is the media letting Trump off the hook, or did the media cause Trump or whatever? I actually think that the press has been pretty good. There's been some really good investigative reporting of Trump when he's on like the Sunday shows. They're starting to ask substantive questions of him, but he is just willing to cross certain lines when it comes to truthfulness and just saying what he feels expedient in that very moment that other people just haven't crossed before.
Yeah.
And so I think the press is like in real time learning how to deal with a character like this.
I agree, because he's brought it down to car salesman, used car salesman level, and again, but there's a place you can't be presidential and be talking that crazy shit that he talks.
We'll see. I mean, it may just change the definition of presidential, right? That's basically the big question.
He's gotten this far, so you're right.
Well, so it changed the definition of what it means to win a primary contested by 16 different people and eke over the bar,
right?
Which is, we should put that in context.
But would you say eke over the bar? He's he's flown over the bar.
Well, look, here's one of the ways I think about it. In order for Trump to have been the nominee, there needed to have been like, it's like a Rube Goldberg kind of like thing. Like 15 things needed to have gone perfectly right, I believe, for him to have gotten through. And 15 of them did.
All
and
15.
If only 14 of them had, then someone else would have gone through. There'll be plenty of dissertations and retrospectives on what exactly those 15 were, but I really do think it was an incredibly narrow and winding path, and he happened to walk it, and that stuff happens, right?
Okay.
If something has a 10% chance of happening, it means 1 every 10 times. That's going to happen, right?
That makes sense.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 206 on March 20th, 2016. We come at Donald Trump and fucking Jimmy Fallon, man. You had an opportunity. You blew it, Jimmy Fallon, and I fucked with you hard body karate. I'm a fan. And you got Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's son is making analogies about turning up the gas chambers for his father. Fuck you, Donald Trump Jr. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Fallon, who I like Jimmy Fallon. Did you see Donald Trump be on Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon's on some sucker shit, man.
Yeah, I know Jimmy Fallon, like, that's not his style. His style is not to be confrontational, but you got Donald Trump up there, and you're, like, playing games with him and, like, doing little you got to go at him a little bit. I mean, I know that's not your Jimmy Fallon's style is not to be, confrontational, but you got to question him about something.
Yeah. Like, it appeared as though you down with this motherfucker.
Yeah, the way it looked. Like, you could, you don't have to do everything for ratings. You could be like, yo, I'm not going to interview him. If you can't go at him hard, you could just say, you're Jimmy Fallon. Like, you get to make the decision. You're a big star. I fuck with Fallon. I fuck with him. I like him. I know him. He's always been cool, but I was just a little bit like, come on, man. Just don't have him on the show if you're not gonna go at him. Like, you can't up there playing with his hair and shit.
Yeah, playing tiddlywinks with a polarizing figure that I predict will be President Trump.
I know. You predicted that.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
episode 208. 208 episodes. September 23rd, 2016, we discussed Don King. You fucking, what another one. This guy's another one. He endorsed D. Trump, and we bugged out about this.
Like I said, man, this is America, man. When you got look, think about the Black Americans' history in America. You know what I'm saying? We the same people that they dropped bombs on us in Philadelphia. They gave us syphilis, man. Just think about the Black Americans' history in the United States. This has always happened. You can go back from the time we got here, man. This is nothing new. You're just seeing more of it because they can't bury it.
Right.
You know, they would have lynched this guy if you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how it happens. So I don't know what can be done. It's been going on for 400 years. Now everybody needs to. I'm glad people are seeing this. So, because usually they think that we're just talking like, oh no, you know, it's not as bad as you guys make it out to be. I'm glad it's on HD, and maybe you could sympathize with seeing that's somebody's father, that's somebody's son, you know what I'm saying, like husband or whatever, and to be executed like that. And basically it's happening with impunity. Now, I want to say this too. If this is going on under a black president's tenure, can you imagine what's going to happen under the next guy who I know is going to win?
You're dead set that Donald Trump's going to win. I still don't agree.
All this stuff, that rioting and all that stuff going on, you think that helps Hillary Clinton? Fuck no.
And Donald Trump, he had his man Don King, who we just said on the last podcast, he has the same street that he killed a guy on in Cleveland. It's getting named after him. Now Donald Trump had Don King make a fucking fool of himself again.
Yeah.
He's sitting there endorsing Don King's endorsement for you as a president is about as valid as a bag of my dog shit. It means nothing. And Don King's sitting up there, he's saying the N-word, he's saying all kind of shit. I mean, some of what he says makes sense. You know, he's not a dummy, but he's older and he is a hustler and a con man and a thief and he views people as meat, his own people. He viewed he broke so many fighters. He ruined so many fighters and treated so many fighters. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. And
he's a Cleveland hustler, man.
A pimp.
He preyed on the fighters' ignorance.
Yeah. And now Don King and Donald Trump has Don King sitting up there. Like the fact that you would even let him speak and you're standing there like shaking your head like, yep, listen to what Don King has to say about me. And Don King sitting trying to explain. This is how pathetic it is. That Don King, during this speech a few days ago that he gave, tried to explain why all white women should vote for Donald Trump. Do you know how fucking dumb that is? Like the fact that anybody would generalize and categorize it, and the fact that it would be Don King doing it is just, you're in bizarro fucking Donald Trump land. Like even Donald Trump had to be like, wow. Look at my fucking life. Like, this is way out there.
I bet you Donald Trump in his mind can see the finish line. I'm telling you, man, he can see it.
I agree, but I agree that he thinks it's going to close, but I still don't agree with you that he's going to win. We'll see. And you should hope that what you're saying is not right. I know you think you're co-host Radamus and like you're like Mr. fucking right. You should hope that you're not right.
Listen, I hope it doesn't happen, but just for the mere fact that he blew out the rest should tell you. A guy with no policy, just ridiculous shit, racist shit, right? Anti this, anti that, is leading Hillary Clinton. So how could that be? You know what I'm saying? So if it's that so unusual, telling you, man, I don't want this shit to happen, but you have to look at reality. You have to look at, this guy got a lot of motherfuckers behind him, man.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Eli Lake calls in to discuss the first presidential debate between D. Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now, what did Trump do well in this debate? it's still crazy to me that I'm even like having to ask this question, that he's actually gone this far. But to be unbiased, even though I am biased, I'm totally biased. I can't stand this fucking guy. I think he's full of shit. I think he's a shit talker extraordinaire, and I say that with all due respect because I'm a shit talker extraordinaire. But I'm not running for president. You know what I'm saying, Eli? So what did he do well in this debate?
Well, I think that he clearly is. I mean, so I don't know if he did this well. This is something that, to me, I'd love to hear Gerald Moody on this. Okay. But there was a moment there when they're talking about race, which is a huge issue right now in this election. I mean, we can agree on that, right? And it's like a big thing on everyone's mind.
Right.
And he mentioned Hillary's super predator remarks, right? In between saying he would bring back stop and frisk, and then right before he's asked about the birther stuff. And the birther stuff and the stop and frisk is like on one end of the spectrum of, that's on the racist side. But the super predator attack on Hillary was something that was originally brought up by Black Lives Matter. If you remember, they interrupted Hillary's speeches like a year ago when she was running against Bernie, or maybe 6 or 7 months ago, and they would ask her, why did you say this? It's like there's a C-SPAN clip from 1995 or something, right? And I always thought, wow, this is 20 years old, and, Hillary does have a record on this stuff. I thought it was a little bit, but it's interesting that Trump would basically crib an attack from Black Lives Matter. That to me was like mind-blowing, right? I mean, where's this guy coming from? It's like he really does in some ways defy the traditional divide we have politically. In answer to your question, where did he do well? I thought that, and again, I am not persuaded by this. I just would say that his answer when everybody now says, you went on the Howard Stern show and you said, okay, you support the Iraq War before the Iraq War. Why do you keep saying you were against it? And he gave some other examples. Now, I don't know if they're true because we have to fact check everything, but he claimed to have had several conversations with Sean Hannity where they would debate the Iraq War, and I'm trying to imagine what that was like, right? But he was prepared for that. He had specifics, and he sort of stuck to his guns, even though I think almost everybody now in the media is like saying, wait a second, if we have the tape, and they keep playing it, but he stuck to his guns. So I guess that would be an example where he seems strong. I think overall making the point that he did, which I think is something that will play with certain voters in what they call the battleground states like Ohio and Pennsylvania, that Hillary Clinton, supported NAFTA and other trade deals, that jobs were taken away from places like Pennsylvania and Ohio. That's a strong message. I don't know if there's enough people who are going to buy that, though, because I still think Hillary's going to win.
What about this whole thing about him? He admitted, I was like, whoa. He said he doesn't pay federal taxes. I mean, now I know you're not a financial person, but was that like some sort of did he fuck himself by saying I don't pay federal taxes? I'm smart. He must know all sorts of financial loopholes, don't you think? But did that raise an eyebrow out in Washington?
Yes. The whole thing that he's not releasing that stuff raises an eyebrow off the bat. And then there's all kinds of other things. You have to really get into this guy's financials, but he's got real estate all over the world. Who are his other investors? Does he have Russian oligarchs who are close to Vladimir Putin investing with him? Is maybe that why he keeps saying nice things about Vladimir Putin at a moment when nobody else is really saying that, at least in U.S. foreign policy establishment? I mean, that's a huge question mark. So the fact that we don't know a lot about this, I would just say one other thing, which I think is an important fact out there. The guy who co-wrote The Art of the Deal with him is now advising the Hillary campaign for no money, as he said in an interview with CNN, as penance for basically creating what he believes is this monster called Donald Trump. That's his co-author. The Art of the Deal is what made him a celebrity.
Right.
And the guy who basically wrote that book, because that Donald Trump didn't write that book. You always get an author, you get a professional writer, it's a guy like me, to help you write a book like that. The guy who did that, who spent 18 months with Donald Trump and wrote his bestseller, is like, I can't believe I'm responsible for this. I need to do something. I'm going to go volunteer for the Hillary and give them every piece of information I have to help her win this debate and win this election.
Right.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 212, October 4th. Gerald endorses D. Trump for the presidency of the United States of America. G. Moody, you're wildin'. Here it is. Here's a good question. I know where you stand on it. The first question on the Truey app segment of the week is, I have a vibe that Donald Trump is going to win.
I've said this, and I want to make an announcement, too.
Yes.
G. Monetti of Sound Mind and Body, endorse Donald Trump for president of these United States. I've seen the debates. I want that persona. I want that persona in the White House. I like Donald Trump. And as far as his policies, they're not going to, the advisors, they're not going to let him run the country into the ground. Donald Trump is the guy, is that persona, that New York no nonsense. That's what we need in that office.
Okay. So are you going to vote for Donald Trump?
Oh, I don't vote.
but you just wanted to give your public endorsement.
I endorse him.
Okay. Well, 45% of the people also agree with you. 55% of the people disagree. And the thing that's scary about that is that it's super duper close. And I think it's going to go down the wire. Although I think Hillary's going to wind up winning by a landslide in the last, 6 weeks.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 214 on October 11th, 2016. We discuss Grab Her by the Pussy. Okay. It's the famous Grab Her by the Pussy episode with Eli Lake. And the fans leave voicemails along with the Robert De Niro line of the century. Robert De Niro has done the Robert De Niro line of the century.
Right.
Robert De Niro is so disgusted, along with many, many, many other people, that he just could not hold it in anymore. And he went after D. Trump. He went after Donald Trump. He called him a mutt. He called him a dog. He called him a dog. He called him a sexist pig. He said that says he wants to. He called him a con artist, a bullshit artist, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't do his homework, and he doesn't care, and thinks he's gaming in society, and doesn't pay his taxes. And he said he's an idiot. It's one of the best De Niro performances of all time because it was truly Robert De Niro. And many people have had different opinions about this. Like, so many people like, oh, he's just an actor. What does he know about politics? What do you know about politics, asshole?
Yeah.
And what does D. Trump know about politics? He's had so many opportunities to explain what he knows about politics, yet he never articulates them.
Exactly.
Robert De Niro is a humble guy. He's always been humble. He's always been low key. For Robert De Niro to come out of himself, one of the shyest people that I've ever been around, one of the shyest artists of all time. You can't get 2 words out of him. You think he's doing this for some money? He's fed up. For Robert De Niro to come out and call him a punk and a dog.
And a fucking dog.
And a mutt. And he's a bullshit artist. And De Niro doesn't curse. And doesn't know what he's talking about. If you haven't heard the clip of Robert De Niro, his open fucking just reaming of Donald Trump, please listen to it now.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk. He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump. If you care about your future, vote for it.
This is fantastic, De Niro. So that, my friends, is the Robert De Niro line of the week. And I think it's going to be the Robert De Niro line of the century.
Yeah.
And the latest in the shenanigans of Donald Trump is a leaked Mike. He was doing an interview on I don't know what the show was. Access Hollywood. And he was with Billy Bush, who's a little fuck boy, little smarmy, little shit stain.
Dick rider, man.
Yeah. And Trump on the thing, he said, amongst other things, when you're famous, you could do what you want. When you see a woman, you could just grab them by the pussy. And he said all these other things. And none of these things offend me.
Right.
None of these things offend me as a person. None of these things offend me as a man. None of these things offend me as well. Because I'm going to break it down. All men talk crazy about women. And all women talk crazy about men. Because, a lot of times women will say, oh, well, you think men are gross. Wait till you hear women get together. It's not even about that. Men talk shit, okay, when they're amongst men. I say crazy things. Now, I'll never repeat them on the I'm Rapaport Stereo podcast because you never know. If Donald Trump could get this far running for president, I don't want anything that I might say on the I'm Rapaport Stereo podcast to be used against me. But rest assured, I've said way worse things than you like to grab them by the ussy. And majority of men have said way worse things than I like to grab them by the ussy. But I ain't running for office yet. Okay, I'm not running for president yet. And as far as I know, G. Monetti, are you running for president yet?
Hell no.
So people say, like, well, he's just like everybody else. That's the fucking point. I don't want my presidential candidate to be just like everybody else. I want the presidential candidate to be better than me. I want him to be someone you could look up to. I want him to be someone you could admire. I want somebody who could, stand up and lead this country, not some scumbag, 2-bit snake oil salesman cocksucker.
Right.
And I'm so glad that DeNiro came out against this guy publicly. And I think more people are going to follow suit now that they see Bobby D doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that took balls for him to come out and say, fuck this guy. He called him a dog.
He called him a mutt. Let's play the tape again in case you haven't heard it.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk. He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
It was just he gave him the whole fucking DeNiro the whole wash. He gave him the whole Robert De Niro wash. Like if Robert De Niro's going to ever come out against you, you don't want him to give you the whole wash, and he gave him the whole kit.
He's talking about snuffing him. That's that old shit.
Yeah, he said I'd like to punch him in the face. This is Robert De Niro. He doesn't talk like this. You never see him talk this way. Yeah. And Bob knows him. You know that Bob De Niro knows him. Like, they're both New Yorkers. Yeah. They both are in the real estate. They're both... You know Bob knows him. He's like, this guy's a punk. He's a dog. He's a con. He called him a fucking con. Now...
That's it.
Now, Monetti, a couple of weeks ago on the I'm Rapaport Stereo podcast, you came out and publicly endorsed D. Trump.
Yeah.
Now, since this happened, I'm going to ask you again. Do you still endorse D. Trump?
In light of his transgressions, I think this will cost him the election. I had him winning, and
I'm not asking you about your fucking bullshit predictions. I'm asking you about your endorsement.
I was getting to that.
Okay. Sorry.
The endorsement has been retracted.
Whoa!
In light of the banter in the bus with that sucker ass Billy Bush.
You're pulling your statement.
Yeah. I have to.
Okay, why do you say this? Because you've been a Donald Trump supporter before many other people. The I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, official political correspondent, Eli Lake, he said this on record a few times that you and the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast have been predicting Trump's rise, but you are now offended by what you've heard by D. Trump saying now already by now.
Yes, I think now that's it. It's everything's out in the open now. I think he's finished, and that was bad to say, but he got caught out there. This is it.
I Am Rapaport podcast.
The debates part 2 have just ended. I want to ask you you got to break it down because it's so. What is your take on it, Eli? What is your take on these debates?
Here's what the Rappapack needs to understand.
Yes.
The election is over. Finito. It's done. Hillary's going to win.
Now, why do you say that so confidently?
Because what we saw starting on Friday evening and through this weekend was the leadership of the Republican Party beginning to completely bail on the nominee of their party, which is unprecedented in American political history. And the only thing that comes close to what we're seeing right now is when leading Republicans began to walk away from Richard Nixon during the Watergate scandal.
Right.
And it's not an exact analogy because he was the president and that was the threat of impeachment and there was calls for him to resign the office. This is the nominee right before an election 30 days out. But you have 16 Republican senators who've just said, I'm no longer with this guy, including John McCain. You have the Speaker of the House canceling an event, calling his remarks indefensible. Even his running mate, Mike Pence, said, I can't defend what he did on this tape.
Right.
Now, you and me might say, why is this worse than 12 other things that he says? Didn't we know this about him already? And I think that's true. But the difference is that it's on tape, and it's so pathetic. And he's talking about going after a woman that he knows is married in a total sleazy, creepazoid way that at a certain point, I just feel it's the straw that breaks the camel's back at that point. How can Republicans, you talk about family values and the sanctity of marriage, defend a guy who is bragging about sexual assault and adultery in such a flagrant, sleazy manner?
Right.
So, I think that there is a strong case that he said that we saw this coming, but this is the thing that did it, and that started this process of all these Republicans walking away from him. He has no organization. Hillary has a huge organization. It's just a question of whether or not Republicans are going to be able to distance themselves enough to keep the Senate, or to keep the House and to maybe keep the Senate. I don't think they'll keep the Senate. I don't know if they'll even keep the House at this point, but that's the question. The question of whether Trump will be president is effectively over.
And what else stuck out to you about the debates and just, this whole last time since I spoke to you in terms of this presidential election? Like, what else are you passionate about and that is frustrating or exciting about it?
Well, just on the debate, Trump did better than expected. If you just want to break down the debate, what just finished tonight, he landed a couple blows. It really doesn't matter because Hillary did not make a major mistake. So she did fine because she didn't do anything catastrophic. And he did not, he's going to lose. I think there was nothing that he could have done in this debate. But as far as it goes, all right, he didn't break out the loaf,
right,
in the middle of her response and start reading a Penthouse magazine.
Right.
I suppose that will count as something, right? he didn't do something totally grotesque and awful.
No.
So he acknowledged that he hadn't paid taxes for years because of the thing the New York Times wrote. But just in the last week or so since that debate, 2 weeks since that debate, what has he done? He tweets at 3 a.m. He gets in a fight. Remember I mentioned the last time about the Venezuelan Miss Universe woman,
yes,
right? And I think, wow, that was a hell of a hit, right? How's he going to respond? He leans into the punch. He goes on Fox and Friends and is like, yeah, she was overweight. So I think everyone's looking at this who are in the Republican Party and other donors who are deciding where they're going to put their dollars and their resources, politically speaking, in the next 30 days. And they're like, forget it. Lost cause. They're starting to pull away from him because he's never going to learn, and he's just a walking disaster. And I think he's going to end up on this. Like, he's going to have very few friends. The only one who defended him Sunday morning on the Sunday talk shows is Rudy Giuliani.
Hey, well, fuck him, too.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 216, October 17th, we discuss Pussygate, we break it down, and snuffing D-Trump. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
D-Treasy.
D-Trizzle. He's about that bizzle. He's like a drug dealer in the 80s.
Yeah.
D-Trump. Uh-oh, he's coming. He got the new Jeep.
Yeah.
Like how like the drug dealers in the 80s.
Got the ill phone.
Yeah, he got the new phone. Oh, yo, did you see him? He was riding a motorcycle up down 8th Avenue. He said that this week, I don't like to go into the shit that everybody knows, but like there's all these accusers coming out and the locker room talk and all this. D-Trump, aside from being a fuck, I want to say this to you. No matter what happens in the election, and I know you're not going to win because I follow the great Eli Lake, the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, official, unofficial political correspondent. He said you ain't winning shit. But you have single-handedly taken away the fun for everybody in using the word pussy. Whether you're talking about a woman, whether a woman is talking about her own vagina, whether a guy is talking about another guy, there's so many different fun ways to use this word. It's one of those words that it's a curse word that you can't just throw around. It has a little bit more potency than shit or let's say fuck.
Right.
But now I will always hesitate before saying that word pussy because of you. You've taken the fun out of the word pussy. You fuck.
They did a Cosby on Mr. Trump.
What do you mean?
I think this shit is rigged. They bring out all these women all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. It's like he said, it's fucking rigged. They knew I was going to win. That's what he's going to say. They knew I was going to win.
So now they have the sexual accusers coming out.
like Cosby.
I wouldn't be surprised of that, too. I wouldn't be surprised at that, too. But he's brought all this on himself. And I also wouldn't be surprised that he's groping and grabbing chicks, too. So, but he just, again, yo, man, it's like, yo.
He seems unfit.
The quote-unquote locker room talk, which is just guy talk, that is just guy talk. When he said, like, and I've heard some guy from the Daily Show goes, I never say these things about women because you're a cornball.
Yeah, and you're not getting no ass no way.
And men talk that way, and it doesn't mean that we're bad. You just know that.
Right.
Just know that men talk that way. And all men talk that way.
Yeah.
In different volumes, different textures, and different formations. Men talk that way, and women talk that way about guys when they're amongst women.
Yeah.
But again, none of us are running for president of the United States. None of us are the Republican candidate that are a certain amount of votes away from running. So you got caught, Trump, but amongst all the other shit. Now he wants to try to get Hillary Clinton
drug tester. She was a little pumped up. He said in the last debate.
He said this.
He said she was a little pumped up early in the debate, but at the end she couldn't even reach her car.
So he wants to get her drug tested. You sent me, I think it was a fake tweet.
Yeah,
that Trump challenged like DeNiro. He said he's a bad actor, he's a fake tough guy, and if he knows where to find me, I'm at the Trump Plaza. I think it was fake.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, honest to God, I was thinking to myself, if I was around Donald Trump, and I wouldn't do it sneak, but if I was around Donald Trump, I would snuff him. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a fighter, but I'm known for snuffing dudes. Snuffing means like you hit first.
Yeah.
Like I would do that. I honestly feel like, yo, somebody should do that. And I would take the fall because first security would jump on you. You get fucked up by it. I'm not worried about the going to jail because you just get an assault charge, you get dropped. Like a judge would probably be like, you'd get off.
Yeah.
But I was like obsessing on that. I was like, yo, I'd punch Donald Trump right in his fucking face. Like if I saw him at one of these like New York City events at like a Tribeca Film Festival or like a New York City. I've been around him. Like he's at these things. You could get to him.
Damn.
And like, yo, Trump, yo, I don't like how you did shit.
No, you just walk up. Wow.
And just snuff that motherfucker. Yeah. And I'm not a hard enough puncher where I do real damage because I just don't have that. Like, I'm not like, it's not like Mike Tyson snuffing you.
Right.
Where he's going to bust your whole shit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hit him in the nose. I'd hit him right in his chin. Like, blow. And then, like, you know, I would do it. Right. I swear to God, I would do it because I just think this guy's a piece of shit, man.
He got that snuffing type of personality.
Yeah, you want to just snuff him.
Yo, just shut up.
And his man, Giuliani.
That's his main.
His main man, 50 grand, always washes up with his dick in his hand.
Yeah.
He trying to front, like, people are like, oh, he's senile. Don't let this guy off the hook.
Yeah.
Giuliani is not senile.
Him and his man, Trump.
Giuliani is not senile. He's a corrupt former mayor with mob ties and some spaghetti sauce on his fucking tie. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
I am Rapaport Podcast.
Episode 219 on October 8th. We discussed D-Trump live in Phoenix, Arizona. If you're from New York City or the tri-state area, we've seen Trump on TV our entire lives. Like, in whatever form, whether he was just a real estate dude, and then he had a building, and then he, and then he became, Donald Trump, and then he was like, this. We've seen him.
Yes.
And that New York slick talking shit, sort of like what I'm doing right now, we've seen it. Okay, it's a dime a dozen where we come from. So this guy, don't be fooled by the quick talking shit.
Yeah.
Because I know nothing about politics. I could beat the shit out of Hillary in a debate. Just on that slick talking New York shit. It's like they don't do it so much now, but in the 80s and the 90s, like a 3-card Monty guy, like they're doing card tricks, and then his friend diverts the attention. Like
That's Giuliani.
That's Giuliani. So, like, Trump is like, $5, you want to play? Yo, we could get in this $5. Put your $5 on it. He's doing shit. He's fucking making the ball disappear. And then you're like, yo, look at that.
Yo, what up? What's over there, yo?
So these guys, we know that shit. That slick talking shit. Because Giuliani, also, don't be fooled. He's not senile. He's a former mayor, corrupt, mob-tied, meatball sauce on his tie.
Yep.
He ain't senile. He's like, oh, she wasn't there at 9/11. Motherfucker, you see the pictures.
Yeah.
She's right there.
Yeah.
She was there. I don't care what you think about her. This, don't try that shit.
Yep.
So, like, that doesn't fly. Like, in New York City, the 5 boroughs, which is a very small place, we're not impressed with all that bullshit.
For sure.
Trust me. We want to fucking take their citizenship away from New York. We don't want them back. We're ashamed of these fucking guys.
Yeah. Word up.
New York City, these guys are making us collectively look bad. The two of them. These 3-card Monty.
Slicksters.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's very, now he's saying he wants a drug test because she's pumped up.
Yeah.
See that language?
Yeah, that's our shit, man.
I got to admit, see, like him saying Hillary was pumped up, that just sounds funny. Like she's pumped up on something. That's that New York shit.
Yeah.
We know what it is. See, don't be fooled. That New York fast talking, lock her up, and you can't get a word edgewise on him. If it was another, like that's why I don't care. Bernie Sanders, see, he's a Brooklyn Jew.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to out-talk Bernie Sanders.
Nope. Hell no.
See, that would have been a debate. Shit, these debates have been good, but if you had Bernie Sanders up there with his suit on and his New Balance.
Yes.
And like he would have been pulling out like tissue, blowing his nose and shit. That would have been a fucking debate. Like Hillary should have just to get that. Now you talk about must-watch TV. As good as these would have been, Bernie would have been fantastic up there with him.
Bernie knows
the deal. See, on Rapaport Stereo Podcast, I know that probably was hard to swallow, but it was what it was. I hope it's over. I can't take anymore. It's been a crazy, crazy road. I don't think it's put the United States. Our best foot wasn't forward during this election. I don't care who you voted for. It's risque to talk politics, but you got to do it. Vote for whoever you want, okay? But after listening to just half of this, can you really vote for D. Trump on election day?